Yes, people, how we doing, man? Welcome back to another stream, and it's a big one because the man has returned, Erling Haaland, but the trio have also returned. Not seen this since last Thursday, man. How we doing, fellas?
I mean, you kind of did just gas it that it's Stephen, James, GC, and Martin. Someone in the chat then was like, "Oh yes, hey Stephen." They defo went, "What?" The devil think they just clicked on the wrong video, innit? Yeah,
We
man.
good? Everyone good?
Yeah, all good, innit?
Wasn't.
How you here? You good, bro?
It's been a
Mike is
while
now
since I've seen
fixed.
you.
What do
Yeah,
you say?
Mike's better than ever. Mike's better than ever, man. But it's been a while since I've seen you, man. You went on a bit of an excursion there. You had a wild weekend.
Yeah, wild weekend, lots of traffic. You know what I mean, but I'm back now, back and alive, off the
Whoa.
Lots of
paracetamols.
traffic. Lots of traffic. That's it.
Guys, Erling Haaland is back in first team training. So we're going to go through that. Obviously, it's Wednesday today. City play on Saturday evening. We then play Bayern Munich on Tuesday. We're going to have a discussion about what we think we should do with Erling Haaland and Alvarez. Should he start? Should he be on the bench? And sort of talk about this, given the fact he has only just come back today to first team training. And he's obviously been working with the team in solo sort of training in previous days and that. But today's the first day back. So we're going to have a conversation about it. Give us your thoughts in the chat as well, guys. I want to know what you guys think here, because, of course, this is a big moment in the season. We're now entering this phase of the season where it's a game every 3 days. It's ham situation. So give us your thoughts on what's going on. Make sure you drop a like on the stream if you've not done so already. We just got past 100, nearly 300 people in the stream. Let's get those likes past 200 likes, guys. Hit that thumbs up button. If you want to help support the channel grow, then you can become a YouTube channel member. Links in the description, and make sure you subscribe. Big up Vazi with a 3 months member chat. Says Haaland is back, baby. Yes, guys. Can't wait for Haaland to bag a hat-trick in the next game. Well, the question is, Vazi, when is the next game? Now, we play on Saturday evening. But remember, we also play a massive game against Bayern Munich on Tuesday night. So where are we at with this one, boys? Because for me, I don't know what to do. I don't know whether to send him, maybe give him an hour, then bring on Alvarez for like the final 30 minutes. And then he's got that 60 minutes in the bank, and then he's ready to go for Bayern. Or is that a bit of a risk? Do we start him on the bench, bring him on for 20 minutes? Do we not start him at all? Or is it just okay? Do we just full send him and let him play the 90? Who wants to say on this one, man? Because I don't really know what to do at the moment.
I'm gonna give what probably people don't want to hear as the big Erling Haaland fans is, and I'm not starting him. I'm absolutely not starting him. I would think it would be a horrible thing to do with the performance Julian Alvarez put in on Saturday morning to just say, nah, you're not playing the next game. I think Alvarez played so well. He deserves to lead the line against Southampton, and that's the way I believe it is. Like, you don't just throw Haaland back in because he's fit. It doesn't matter how Alvarez played or how anybody else played. If Alvarez is playing well, play him. The Bayern Munich's a different story. The Bayern Munich game, you probably think differently about that. But for the Premier League game, yeah, I put Haaland on the bench, and if we need a goal in the last 15, 20 minutes, you bring him on there. But I thought Alvarez was so good against Liverpool, and I think he deserves the opportunity to continue in that form.
Look, the thing is right now is Haaland is back in training, so clearly things are good. You know what I mean? Clearly things are chill if he's back in training. I already knew the answer to the question. My answer anyway. As soon as you said it, but my personal opinion is that I'm with you. I'm with Vazi there with a 2. He says I reckon he'll come on as a sub next game. I reckon there's no need to start him with how good that we played against Liverpool. I think it's not a situation like a Harry Kane situation where we need to be starting him all the time and we have to have him out for 90 minutes as soon as he comes back for an injury. We don't need to do that. And it's a risk that doesn't need to be taken, I don't think. If like you said there, if we do need a goal and there's half an hour left or something like that, you can bring him on. I think you're playing for half an hour, get him a little bit of match sharpness back up, and then he's ready for Bayern.
Nia says in the chat that you don't bench Haaland. The fact of the matter is you do. When you have another world-class striker, and that's the bottom line, we have another world-class striker in the ranks, and we've just given him the new contract. His first big game with that new contract where he starts, he absolutely smashes it. What sort of dickheads will we be turning around and say, no, the guy who was injured for the last 3 weeks is back now, so you're going to hold bench again? Some people saying you can play both. I mean, that's an option, but I still like the idea of holding Haaland back. I don't like the idea too much of full sending him. You know, maybe look to definitely give him at least 20 minutes, regardless of how the game is going on Saturday, to get some match sharpness back in his legs. And then I probably would full send him against Bayern Munich. But as far as the Premier League goes, I think you can't overlook Alvarez. The football we played on Saturday morning, I've seen some pundits say was the most fluid we've looked all season. That's not to say we haven't had great performances with Haaland, but why would you just cancel that? Why would you just stop that when that 11 or that player who was huge in that was a massive part of it? I don't know. I think you can't just
I think maybe the reason that people might be saying start Haaland is because we do play Bayern Munich on Tuesday, and we've not seen Haaland play a game for City for however long it's been. Maybe they want to get some extra minutes, but the question is, would 30 minutes in Haaland's legs be enough? Would that be sufficient to get him up to the level that we need him to be for Bayern Munich? I don't know. I can't lie, lads. I don't know. I think I'm going the other way. I do. I think I'm disagreeing with you, boys. I think I'm going the other way. I think for me that Southampton game's so big because obviously we closed the gap to Arsenal and then Arsenal play Liverpool. And for me, I don't know. I think I'm favouring starting him. I am, man. I don't know what to do. But if I had to say now, what would I do? I think I'd start Haaland.
You see, the way I look at it is that Haaland just gone through a really, really tough winter period of football. We played a huge amount of games after the World Cup right until this period. 2 or 3 weeks off isn't going to completely make a 22-year-old player rusty. We're not talking about a 33-year-old, 34-year-old who maybe will take his body a little bit longer to get back to fitness. Haaland's a naturally fit guy, naturally athletic guy who's been playing all season. I don't think he's going to go back to being rusty, but given half an hour, 35 minutes, whatever it is against Southampton, I'd be pretty confident that he'd be well able to play against Bayern Munich on Tuesday.
I think, funny enough, what I go with, I'm not sure if Pep will go with. I kind of think that Pep might just full send back to Haaland. I could see him just giving Haaland 60 minutes and then taking him off and then allowing Alvarez back in for 30 minutes. But personally, I just think even if you just give half to each, just said Alvarez, you're starting, Haaland, mate, you're coming on for half an hour because I want you to get some more minutes in before the Bayern game. Like, I'm happy for either of that. I'm kind of in a position where I don't dislike either option. I'm just going safe.
Mm-hmm. Are you like that, Hugh? Are you sort of more you want Alvarez to start?
I think Alvarez deserves it. I think Alvarez deserves it. I think
he does deserve it. He does deserve it.
I don't think there was a massive drop off when Alvarez played instead of what there was when Haaland was playing. So why would we switch that up? I get Haaland as the main talisman this season, and for the Bayern game, yeah, I'm saying full send Haaland. But for the Premier League, I think Alvarez has every right to feel like he should start on Saturday morning. We've just had one of the best performances all season. Battered Liverpool 4-1. Alvarez was insane. He was absolutely class. And we listened to watch along that was probably the biggest game of his club career so far. New contract. He's been told, he's been given assurances, he's going to be given opportunities. He's given the opportunity and he properly takes it. He has every right to feel like he should be playing.
But then does Haaland not have every right to be playing?
Well, no, because Alvarez just off the back of a 9 out of 10 performance. You're only as good as your last one.
Fair.
I like that.
Haaland
wasn't good as your
last
game.
As much as I love Haaland, you didn't play, mate. Alvarez didn't. He was class. Listen, I get people love Haaland. I love Haaland. There's nobody who loves Haaland more than me. But I'm also a firm believer in if we're going to do this whole business of having two class strikers, use them properly. Use them properly. Don't say, oh, well, just because Haaland's fit now, he has to start every single game. I think we need to be strategic with this. Give Haaland 30 minutes, get the minutes into the legs. He's 22, he should be well able, fit for Tuesday. Alvarez has earned every right to play against Southampton. I think he could do damage there as well.
Go on, bro. What are you saying?
No, carry on. I was about to say, I agree with just starting Haaland for half an hour at the end of the match. But if he didn't start I'd bring him on. If he didn't start the game, I wouldn't be like fuming. I'd just be like, yeah, it is what it is.
Okay. Big up Bazzi with another super chat. Says, I do reckon bringing on Haaland either at halftime or in the 60th minute. And if he looks good and seems confident, then he should start against Bayern. So maybe just testing him out and seeing what the crack is. And big up Jake. I did put this on the screen before, but he says saving Haaland for Bayern. So Jake could always also save it. There was also a third option in the poll, and it's actually got quite a lot of votes. Start both of them. Nah, we don't. I mean, we've seen it a couple of times this season. So it's not something that never happens. It's happened a few times, but could this not be sort of like an option? And you know, Southampton are a bit of a bogey team. Would it not be good to have both of them on there and really go for it? Try and score some goals against a team that we typically struggle against?
It's an option, but who do you drop out?
This is what I'm saying, man. I think I genuinely mean this wholeheartedly. Go with the exact same 5 attacking complement of players that played against Liverpool. It was so fluid. They sprayed around the ball beautifully. The 2 wingers gave the fullbacks nightmares. Alvarez cooked. Don't fix what's not broken. We need to win every single game. We can't afford any more slip-ups. This team cooked on Saturday, so give them the opportunity to cook this coming Saturday. I wouldn't switch anything up with that attack.
The only thing for me is, say we do start both, and I like the idea of starting both. I've said a lot that I wish that Pep could find a way to play both these guys like more consistently. I don't really know in it, like, because we've seen before when he's coming for Gundogan and we played Kevin De Bruyne there. Now when they switched their roles and then Alvarez pushed on a lot further, it was very, very, very good. It looked a lot better. Now, if they did that, I'd be fine with that. Obviously, we've got a situation with Phil Foden where Phil Foden's not fit now. He could come on as a right wing, potentially. Like maybe a bit of rest for Mahrez. You want to save Mahrez for a bit of a Champions League game. But for me, the Southampton game, as much as they are bottom of the table, yeah, it's massive. So I just want some consistency. And we've just played, like you said, that was probably our best performance in terms of like the watching it. Like it was a very fluid performance from City. That we looked sick, we looked in control of the game. Now that I want to replicate that again against Southampton, because we need to be winning these games, and I don't want Pep to go full send madness and then it fucks up. Like I say, we need to put the pressure on Arsenal this weekend, and I'd literally not change one thing from that 11 that played Liverpool.
So you just played a full same?
I'd play that exact same lineup.
Ooh, interesting. I mean, it
controlled the game. There is obviously shouts for like Kyle Walker and that, but the way that we controlled that game, meant I'd full send it.
It's a really, really interesting debate because, of course, we have struggled against Southampton. Only 4 wins in our last 8. So a 50% win record against, you know, a bottom to mid-table Premier League side isn't great. And there's been a couple of times where we've been really, really poor. It's 5:30 kickoff. There's going to be a lot of pressure on us. Yeah, I don't know where I'm at. I don't know. I honestly can't decide. It's a toss of the coin for me, because I do get what you're saying, you know, in the sense that Alvarez deserves to play, and I get that, but we also need to like desperately win the game. But then I also need to trust that Alvarez can do the job. You know what I mean? And this is exactly what I said after the Liverpool game. And I'm already going back on it in the sense that I should be able to trust Alvarez to be able to come into that team and do the business. And yeah, then maybe just give Haaland 20 to 30 minutes at the end. It's just, you know, Pep Guardiola's going to have such big decisions and big calls because we've got this mad period of the season now where it's literally a game every 3 days starting from Saturday, and he has to be making the right calls. He has to be rotating at the right time. He has to be, you know, doing what he needs to do, and hopefully it pays off. Would I play Alvarez? Look, I'm chill with it. You know, like I say, I'm favouring Haaland, but I'm fully game. If he wants to start Alvarez, then I'm fully chill with that 100%.
That's a slag on the meat shield.
Yeah. Yeah. Where's it gone? George Worrell says, run Southampton ragged first half with control, then slag on the meat shield second half when they have tired legs. Slag on the meat shield.
Yeah, that's what Pep says. Slag on the meat shield.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because that's probably what he's going to do.
Yeah, that's Pep's exact words in the tactics, isn't it?
What I would do is then, if we're cooking Southampton in the second half, I'd take Riyad Mahrez off and hold him back for the last half an hour and save him for Bayern, and I'd push Alvarez out to the wing and put on Haaland through the middle.
Right, that.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if he actually made a few changes for this game. And despite our poor record against Southampton, despite the fact that this is a must-win game, I think Pep Guardiola, I have a feeling that he might just look at it and go, if you can't beat fucking Southampton, even if I make a few changes, then, you know, what the fuck is going on? So I don't know. I see Sir Alan says same team as Saturday. I don't know. I have a feeling that he might change it up. I do. I think he'll change it up and maybe maybe just think about the Bayern game, because that Bayern game on Tuesday against Tuchel's side, it wouldn't surprise me if he proper changed it up. It really wouldn't.
But my only thing is, right, we're looking in a situation where we're heading towards the end of the Premier League, where we don't have many chances to capitalise on Arsenal dropping points. This weekend, as shit as Liverpool have been recently, is a weekend that I'm looking at where Arsenal could potentially drop points. It's one of the ones where you're looking at going, that could be it. That could be where we can gain 3 points there. Now, we need to do our bit in them situations. So, as the Bayern game is massive, but I still feel like we can't look too far ahead. We have to be looking at who's in front of us, because Southampton is very much just a final as much as Bayern is a quarter final or whatever it is. Like, if we lose against Southampton and they beat Liverpool, we're in the same position as we was last week, saying that it's in the bin. So we need to capitalise on points somewhere, and I'm hoping it's this weekend. So I want to full send. Literally same team, full send against Southampton, and then once that's in the bag, then we can worry about Bayern.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's what we do, but it wouldn't. That's what we should do. It wouldn't surprise me if Pep did rotate it because of that Bayern game. The problem is, of course, because we chase in the Premier League, you can only take so many risks and gambles, because, as you said, if you lose the game, then and Arsenal then have got that massive sort of morale boost and sort of incentive to go to Anfield and actually get a result. They've got one anyway, but that would just make it even more. Then that's a serious issue. So yeah, you got to get that game won. Get that game won. That game needs to be out of sight within 60 minutes, man. It's possible, it's doable. It's second versus 20th. We've got to be going there, and we've got to be putting them away within the first hour, and then Pep Guardiola can make the changes. I'm thinking Diaz off, get Laporte on for the last 30 minutes. I'm thinking Rodri off, get Calvin Phillips off, Mahrez, like you said, Hugh. Maybe switch up the striking situation. Get Cole Palmer on for Grealish. Get Kevin De Bruyne off for Bernardo or Gundo, whoever he doesn't play. Or Perone, as Jake says with the super chat. Feed me a Perone appearance. This is what we've got to do. We've got to have that game won within 60 minutes. So then we can just chill out for the final 30 minutes and have that 2-day rest period before we play Bayern at the Etihad on Tuesday. So it's a massive game, and it's a team that it is a bit of a bogey team. It is a bogey team. 4 wins in 8 against a mid-table to lower table team. That's a bogey team for sure. Big up Dave with a $10 donation. Says, I think it will depend on how Southampton play. Will they defend with 8 players at the back, or will they actually go for it because they actually need the points? If we are Chester FC, then Haaland is better. But of course, this is a great point about Southampton. Can they afford to sit back and just take the points? I mean, they're drifting away ever so slightly. They're on 23 points. You need to get to 27 with their goal difference. They'd need a win and a draw. But they've only got 9 games left. Can they really be going into this game and thinking, we'll take a point? Is that good enough? And bearing in mind, Leicester play Bournemouth at the weekend, so one of them two's going to get points. So that's going to make it even more difficult.
Well, they could look at the draw saying like a point against City is a very good point.
A point against City for them in the long run will feel like a win. They'll take so much momentum from drawing against City that into their next few games, they feel like they can beat anyone.
Yeah, now obviously they are at the bottom of the league, innit? So we should be confident going into this game. It just stinks of it being a slip-up kind of situation, 5:30 kickoff as well. And especially with the last time we played them in the FA Cup and they binned us. We don't want no repeats of that. They actually played a lot better with us on that day. Now, will they do it again? Unsure, because as we've seen, they went straight after. I think pretty much straight after that cup game, they went straight into dog shit mode again. So I remember we was actually saying when we played that Carabao Cup game. Yeah, I did mean Carabao. That Carabao Cup game, when we said straight away that this could be a little bit of a kickstart for Southampton, and it just wasn't. It just wasn't. They just still crumbled. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what kind of performance we're going to expect to see from them on Saturday. Are they just going to roll over and just allow it and just say, right, this one off, lads? But personally, I think they might try and make it tight. I think it might be a situation where low block, every man behind the ball, try and get a point out of the game, because that's their best way of looking at it. I don't see them looking at this game going, right, because look at the form that they've been. look at where they are in the league. I don't think they're going to look at this game as a game where they're going to go, right, 3 points here, lads. I think that's setting themselves up for. I think they go make it tight, get a point out of this, take that as a win, move on to the next game, get more points in the next one. That's why.
And you know what, as well, another reason that they're probably going to sit up tight, because I think they'll just put every player behind the ball, and I think they'll be well defensive. But another reason that they might do that is because if they do end up surviving, it could be a situation where it comes to goal difference, right? And if it comes to goal difference, they don't want to be taking a beating. So, I can whack this on the screen actually so you guys can see it. But if you look at the goal difference here, minus 24. Obviously, Leicester's is better, but look at the rest, 30, 28, 18. You know, Everton obviously not great, but if you look at Forest and Bournemouth, it's not too far away. So they probably going into the game thinking, let's do everything we can not to get panned. Because goal difference could be a key issue.
It could be crucial, that, because look how tight the bottom is. It's wild. It's actually insane. Like, because we're looking at saying Southampton at bottom, and usually by now the team that's bottom, you're pretty much saying, yeah, they're goners. But with how close it is, I'll say now, if you ask me who I think will go down, I'd say Southampton. But it would not surprise me if they stayed up because of how tight the bottom half of the table is.
Yeah,
anyone can go. Anyone can go down by the looks of it.
Literally anyone.
It's certainly an interesting one.
But the way I look at it is, look, if we're a completely different team now in terms of performance and output to what we were when we went to that Carabao Cup game. That was probably the toughest stage of the season in terms of us as fans watching the football. The football we were watching compared to now was really, really poor, and that's why I'm so keen to play as close as if not the exact same team that played against Liverpool, because if we go to Southampton and play the way we did against Liverpool, I think it doesn't matter what way Southampton set up. I think we'll beat them. We're no longer just breaking teams down and getting a 1 or a 2-0, or that's what we're trying to do. We're now dismantling teams. I think we should be capable of going to St. Mary's and absolutely battering Southampton. That's not being disrespectful. I just think that's the way we right now. That's what the recent evidence will suggest. What was it? 7-0 against Leipzig, 6 against Burnley, 4 against Liverpool. We should be able to go down there.
No, you're right. You're right.
It's different times, man. It's different times. This team has to feel we can go down there and beat them, regardless of what way they set up.
Yeah, 100%. Big up Vaze with another super chat, coming in with a £2 super chat. Says, could you start both for Bayern maybe? I mean,
nope.
He started both of them against Dortmund. I know there was a bit of a dead game, but like maybe
I don't.
Maybe you could. He
started. You mean you could, because it is a possibility. Like, it is a possibility. We can do that. We can play both of them. We've seen us play both of them. Will he? No, absolutely not.
I think
you're just my personal opinion.
You're playing around with it for the sake of it at that point. You're just messing things around just for the sake of messing things around. Both wingers are on fire. 2 midfielders are on fire, and we have 2 strikers on fire when they play as strikers. Let the wingers be wingers. Don't try shoehorn Alvarez out to a wing just to have him in the starting 11 beside Haaland. Let the strikers be strikers and bring the other one on when the other one needs to come off. Let the midfielders continue to cook the way they have been, and let Grealish and Mahrez do their thing. That's the way I view it.
I agree.
Especially in big games. Especially in big games like Bayern. Like, so I can allow it with the games. But Bayern, there's no point fucking about with it. Like, stick to what's our strongest 11. And our strongest 11, I don't think at this current time is with Alvarez and Haaland in there.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just saying that it's possible because he has done it in the past and he did it.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah,
I agree. I don't. Throughout the season, we've been messing around. Pep's been trying to find this formation and this system that's worked. It finally seems like it's working, and he's found out how to get this system to work. And more importantly, it feels like the players understand how to get this system to work. So for me, I don't know why you would then, change it up. I don't mind if he puts Haaland in on Saturday, not Alvarez. Yeah, chilling. If he starts Alvarez, no point. But the core formation, the core system needs to be the same. It needs to be the same. Obviously, Saturday's a massive, massive game. 5:30 kickoff, guys. We're going to do the live watch along for it. It's going to be a madness. City have to get that win. They have to get the win and put that pressure on Liverpool, on Arsenal, sorry. So I used to say Liverpool so much over the last few years. And hopefully Liverpool can do us a solid on Sunday. But will he go Alvarez or will he go Haaland? Obviously, we'll have the press conference stream coming for you guys on Friday. And that's when we'll probably find out a lot more about what maybe Pep Guardiola's intentions are. Pretty sure he won't give it away. but I'm pretty sure we'll find out. The one thing that I would say is both of these players will get minutes on Saturday. Whether Alvarez starts, whether Haaland starts, both of them will get minutes, and that's good because then Pep Guardiola can then decide going into the Bayern game what he wants to do with two fit players. But it's time for these players to deliver the goods, man. Time for them to deliver the goods. They've been really, really good over the last month or two. 11 games without loss, 7-win streak. We've got a brilliant defensive record. We're playing against a side that don't score too many goals. They've got the joint worst attack in the league. If you look at the goals for, joint worst attack in the league. The defense ain't great either. Conceded 47 goals. Arguably a little bit better than some of the others around them, but still not great. We have to be going there and doing the job, man. You know what I mean? If we can't beat Southampton, bottom of the league, when you've got 8-9 games left of the season, you're in a title race, and do you deserve to win the league, man? Probably not.
That's
we
it.
have to go there and do the job.
The thing is, if we don't beat Southampton and Arsenal win this weekend, then people will be writing the league off anyway. But rightly so, because if you don't beat Southampton at bottom, then you don't really deserve it anyway.
Yeah, 100%. Great news, though. Great news. Erling Haaland back in training. He had a smile on his face, and he's looking ready to go for it. He's looking like he's. You see the way he celebrated, right, against Liverpool. Yeah, he was doing a Poznan. He was fucking buzzy. He is a fan. I was going to say he's almost like a Manchester City fan, but he is a City fan, and he was obviously gassed for that. And apparently, the rumor has it that he actually asked to start that game against Liverpool, and obviously Pep Guardiola decided not to in the end. He's going to want to start against Southampton. He'll
be raring to go because he wants to get back at it. Look how many goals he was scoring before he was injured. Do you know what I mean? Man was absolutely slamming it. So he's going to want to get back on it.
Yeah, 100%. Dave Rocky with a 10 says, Southampton are 20th, but trust me, they are no mugs. They drew with Arsenal, Spurs and United. They beat City. They knocked City out of the Carabao Cup. They get points from the top 6. No slip-ups, please. Yeah, you know what? It's funny, right, when we talk about Southampton, because I've seen them a few times, and sometimes they look like a really, really solid team. And if you could take out a couple of games and be like, how the hell are they 20th in the season? 20th in the league. But then again, you could probably say the same thing about Leicester. They smacked up Aston Villa 4-0. I think they beat Tottenham 4-2. Yet they find themselves 19th in the league. So we just got to dial ourselves in. We've got to dial ourselves in and see what we can do against this side. And Hugh's right, man. Let's be honest. This is not arrogance. It's not being cocky. We should be able to go to the 20th team in the division and smack them up. Not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed, but it's not arrogant to say that. We should be able to do that, We're going for a title race. We're in mint form. We put 7 past Leipzig. We should be able to go to the bottom of the table when we're in this title race when we know what's happening the day after with Liverpool versus Arsenal and say, you know what? You're not getting it, man.
We just put 4 past Liverpool. Surely we can beat Southampton. I know football doesn't work like that, but I mean, lads need to just be up for it, man.
100%. Big up Harvey just come in with a £5 super chat. Says he's the robot. I reckon he'll be raring to go and continue his goal scoring. Big up the lads. 100% agree. That's what I'm saying. He will want to start that game against Southampton. He will.
Without a doubt.
And that's why I think he might start, because if he goes to Pep and say, "Yo, listen, I'm actually fully fit," will he revert? Will he revert to type? Will he revert to Erling Haaland or stick with Alvarez? I like I say, I'm happy for either of them to start. If Alvarez starts, I think it'll be good to see again more pressure on his shoulders, develop that sort of that ability in the Premier League, and then go again against Bayern. But he's got a big decision. Right, anything else on the Haaland situation? I mean, of course, we will bring you more. We'll talk about more. I'm sure we'll speak about this more when we do the previews, when we do the press conference reaction and shit. So don't worry, this won't be the last of the Haaland chat. We will speak about him. And obviously, the journalists do like to speak about Haaland in the press conference. So don't worry about it. We'll speak about it. We've got an Avengers show coming tomorrow night as well. So we'll speak about it there. But anything else from you guys on this or anything random?
No random news from me.
Nope.
No random news.
Time to keep cooking, man. Time to keep cooking.
Yeah.
That's all.
There we go. Buzzing. Okay, guys, hope you enjoyed that. A little bit of an update. Erling Haaland back in training. The big question mark, though, is will he start on Saturday or will he stick with Julian Alvarez? Again, we will speak about this in much more detail in the coming days, guys. So stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos, shorts, or when we go live. And peace out, people. We'll catch you in the next one. See you in a bit. Big up Dopa with the super chats.